Hey guys, let's talk about abandonment issues. I was thinking about that. Aman, I paid attention to what you wrote to me. I wrote down a few things. Let's talk about it. So, to begin with, guys, abandonment issues unfortunately start and are programmed in us since we are children. Okay? And when you are a child and you are initially, for the first 7 years, you are in theta. Then you turn into alpha, right? Your waves. Come on. So when that's happening, and things happen, for example, if one of your parents passes away, and you begin to think that why did God take someone so special from me? Am I not worthy? Am I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? Did I make a mistake? What if I was a better kid? Would God have let my dad or mom live a little longer? And you can't help but to think that way when you're a child, because you're like, well, God is supposed to be good. I was being a good kid. What did I do wrong? Why does my neighbor have both parents and I don't? And you just sometimes it just begins to happen. What then begins to happen afterwards is that you become very oversensitive to feedback. You become very oversensitive to other people's aggression and sadness. And what you might have realized that sometimes in a conflict you might overreact. You might blow up. And that all stems from abandonment issues. Jealousy, insecurity happens from abandonment issues. This guy over here, if I ever hug somebody, even if it's my brother, he gets so jealous. I don't know. I'm not saying he has attachment issues, okay? He's a puppy. That's just what they do. But when humans do that, that's a problematic issue, right? That can really get in the way of your peace of mind being present. That can get in the way of how you want to manage your frequency, how you want to stay in the state of the future realities that you want to experience, and you want to match those frequencies to your desires. And you can't do that when you're feeling jealous and insecure. Sometimes you'll stay in an abusive relationship because of that abandonment issue. What am I going to do? I'm talking to a few of you guys that are having these issues with your partner. And one of you actually just straight up told me, if I leave my partner, I'm afraid I might just be too lonely. What am I going to do when I'm alone? I was like, oh goodness. Okay. So people stay in abusive relationships because they would rather be in the uncomfortable known than in the unknown. They'd rather suffer because that is known, because your ego only cares about your survival. And as long as your ego has everything predictable around you, which is to say, your past continuously to become your reality. You go from one abusive relationship to the next abusive relationship. If your partner leaves you, you will jump on the next person that is showing any interest in you, doesn't matter how abusive they are. And if your partner doesn't leave you and just continues to abuse you, you'll take the abuse because it is familiar. It is very hard for sleepwalkers to abandon familiarity. And to go into the prison example I always talk about. That your ego is convinced that prison has comfortable beds and pillows. I'm secure. I have guards watching me. They feed me. There's a free gym outside in the prison. I get to work out. Everything's good. We're surviving because ego only cares about survival, not thriving. That's another issue that is attached to this here. People pleasures. That you will begin to be fake so that you can get validation from other people. You begin to suppress your needs and desires so you can appease other people, guess what happens? You were brewing like a pressure cooker. You have this suppressed anger because you didn't want to do something and you did it. You have the suppressed anger that somebody insulted you and you just brushed it off because you're afraid of conflict. Because the conflict might invalidate the validation that you want, or the conflict might lead them to just abandon you. And you will just suck it up and take it, and you're slowly just getting these energy centers of the first three and you make yourself sick. You make yourself emotionally a wreck with the people pleasing activities. And by the way, pleasing other people is fun, but it has to come from within, that you want to do something, right? When my partner wants to love me or wants to feed me some beautiful, food, healthy, and wants to really care for me, makes me some tea, puts some honey in it, puts some ginger or whatever, because she wants to make sure that I am healthy, or she takes care of me in any other way. If she wants to do that out of just pure love, because she gets a lot of validation from the fact that I'm healthy, I'm happy, and she likes the way I love her back, and I love loving her the way I want to, because I'm just full of love and I just want to give it. I'm very and by the way, that doesn't mean attachment is a bad thing. You have to have some attachment towards the things that you want to do. How could you not be attached to the passion that you have? I'm very attached to you guys. I'm very attached to the needs of you guys. I'm always thinking about some of you guys. I'm contacting you guys sometimes, and I'll check on you. I'll make sure how you're doing. Whether it's through email or text messages or phone call. And I'm doing that because I truly, truly want to do this. This is, if I were to pick one thing that I could do in my life, it would be this. Having this mission with you guys. And I have a feeling that I'm going to do this at a bigger and bigger scale, and I'm going to do this until I die. Because this is the best thing ever. Awakening, enlightenment, growing spiritually, having mystical experiences, out-of-body experiences, lucid dreams, teaching other people to do that. And the better I get at it, the more I can help other people just by meditating with them, giving them my field. A lot of you guys are feeling this from my videos. You can feel my energy. Some of you guys are getting so good at this that you can see my field and even the colors of the field. It's amazing. It only gets better. This is just the beginning. Unhealthy attachment is a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to get to. Don't be fake. I'll give you a personal example, okay? I've been a pretty open book with you guys. When I was a kid, we're four brothers, okay? My parents had four brothers. And my parents are happy. They're still together. My dad's been retired for 40 years. He retired when he was 36. And he's just been traveling around the world ever since. And he plays these games with apartments and buying apartments and commercial lands. And he does things on the side, but he does them from while he's traveling. They've been happy. So I have a twin brother. Not a twin, Irish twin. Okay, that means he is 11 months older than me. I always had this desire since I was a child that I truly wished that he was my best friend. I wanted him to be my best friend. I wanted to discuss personal things with him. I wanted him to be on my team, and I had this desire. But I wanted it so bad, it never happened. We don't talk. In fact, if I were to go as far as if I were to think back about how I used to behave or how I used to think about a relationship, him and I, that never had, he was the only enemy I've ever had. He was the only one that for 18 years of my life, all I perceived him do is to hurt me. And he did a really good job. because we slept in the same room. He knew everything about me. So, and I wanted to make him proud. I wanted him to be my best friend, and I wanted to be the best son of my dad. But because of the conflict that him and I had, and I wasn't good at playing politics for parents to then take my side, and you know how that works sometimes. The favorite kid versus not so favorite kid, and kids turning parents against each other. It was just such a mess that my relationship with him never got better. And I tried and I tried and I tried until I graduated high school. And the day I graduated high school, I ran away from home. And I ran away from home and I was immediately homeless. Slept in churches, streets, parks. Didn't have a car or anything, obviously, because the car I was driving was Dad's car. And then I joined the military, went to war for a few years. And after that, went to medical school, then started this career. And then I spoke to my dad 10 years later. And when I spoke to my dad 10 years later, that's when I had already purchased my second house. I was driving what I want. I was traveling the world already. Life was amazing already 10 years later. But life kicked my ass for 10 years before that happened. And I did that because I needed to get away, because I realized that this attachment thing, this desire, people-pleasing thing, and just being fake and hurting yourself to make other people happy just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You fix your abandonment issues. You release these bad energies. It changes everything in your life. It changes you, changes your personality, changes your genes, changes you biologically, chemically, genetically, electromagnetically, changes everything about you. The way people react to you becomes very different. When I speak to people, when I interact with people, they know I don't need anything from them. They can feel it, they can see it. But they know there's something I want to give them. My blessings, my love. I just want to see them happy. Because the love we give away is the only love we get to keep. When we give love to other people, who are other people? The separation of you and me is an illusion. When you give love to other people, you're giving love to the collective, which also means you're giving love to yourself. That's why when you heal other people, you heal yourself. I did it. When you bless other people, you're blessing yourself. And it reciprocates somehow a lot more strong than if you were only, So I'm going to talk about gratitude in a separate video, but I just wanted to make this one quick point about gratitude. There's two kinds of gratitude, right? You elevate your own emotions, you elevate your frequency, you shoot the energy up the spine all the way to your brain, and you create these elevated feelings and emotions in you, right? And then you hold that, you focus on it, you attach it to your intention, and you release it. Then there's this other kind of gratitude. When you smile at somebody, a stranger on the sidewalk, and they smile back at you, you feel it. You feel that random, it almost keeps the smile on your face for extra 10 seconds or longer. Because you just made somebody else smile. You just brought some good energy into someone else's field by just blessing them with your beautiful smile. And why do I say beautiful smile? You literally gave them a genuine smile. You gave them something that generated and brought their energy up, even for a split second. And when that happens, it changes something in you too. It amplifies. That's just why when we meditate together, the energy shoots up exponentially. It amplifies when we combine our fields, when we connect each other to ourselves. Attachment issues are pure childhood miscommunication, taking things the wrong way by mistake, doesn't matter. You're a kid, you don't know. You're also sleepwalking, and you're around a bunch of sleepwalkers. You lose your parent, you're blaming God, you're blaming yourself. Then the other parent is too stressed. Now the other parent is just dropping their energies, and they're suffering now. And as a consequence, you suffer because you're with them right there. And it amplifies even more the resentment, vengeance, and grievance. You don't know what to do with yourself. Then you go out there and you find a partner and you grow up. And now you're just ruining everything. One bad relationship after another. And the trauma just gets worse and worse and worse. And it just snowballs out. Why? Because you're looking for something outside that needs to come from self. When you become love, and you then find a partner, things are just magical, amazing. That's how you stay in a relationship that maintains its honeymoon period throughout. And yes, you also have some boundaries of how your coworkers will treat you, how your friends will treat you, how your children will treat you. Animals, everything. We all have certain boundaries. Don't be too rigid on them, because then you're rigid on yourself. Try to get as close as unconditional love as possible. People feel it. People react to it. You bring out the love from them, which then gives you what you need, if that's what it is. And it just turns into a nice orchestra. It turns into a nice dance where you're floating through life, you're dancing through life. And it's beautiful. Effortless living is what I'm trying to teach you guys. Effortless. Turn this door open between the two worlds and allow your higher self to do everything for you. Visions, ideas, opportunities, synchronicities, coincidences, aha moments, light bulb moments. You begin to see the world in a different area. Out of the 15 million bits of data that you're exposed to, and your body is only picking the 100 bits of data to process, how does the body know which 100 to pick from 15 million? The programming. What have you programmed? It uses the programs to identify what 100 bits of data you care about. What do you want? And what do you have in your body? Attachment issues. You're a people pleaser. You suppress your own needs. No boundaries. And one might think, well, how do I remove it? It's easier than that, honey. It's easier than that. If you bless your energy centers, you heal on accident, you release your traumas on accident. You guys underestimate the power of blessing your energy centers. Yes, it's going to take time. And I'm going to talk about why some of you guys are throwing up, shaking, getting sick. That's going to be the next video. But I think that's enough about attachment issues. Please let me know what your comments are. Aman? Everybody else? Faria? Lucy? Alex, Khalil? Anyone? Ask me follow-up questions and I'll do a follow-up video. Love you.